In the previous video we showed how you can use arguments in a page layout component. Here we have a tabbed UI component, and we can use arguments in this component in much the same way. So you can see here we have a tabbed UI component that has several buttons on them for opening different grids and a report. And if we go to the properties and then down to arguments, you'll see here that we've defined an argument called whatState, whose value we're going to set at runtime. And then for each of the controls in the tabbed UI, you can see we've defined a filter that uses that argument. So we're filtering on bill state region equals and then the value of the argument, and that filter has been applied to all of the grids and also the report that appears in the tabbed UI component. So now let's go ahead and save this tabbed UI and then go to our grid component, and what we'll do here is put a on the grid that is going to open up the tabbed UI component in a window on the form. So let's go ahead now and add a new button. So we'll go there and choose button. We'll label it as tabbed UI, and now let's go and define the JavaScript. So we'll click open new web page, which of course includes an A5W page, and the A5W page that we want is the one that contains the tabbed UI component. So that's going to be this A5W page over there. And now Alpha 5 has analyzed this page and determined that this particular component on this page has arguments, and so now it's allowing us to bind those argument values to fields in the current grid. So I'm going to go there, and you can see it only has one argument called whatState. I'm going to bind that to bill state region and then click OK. And let's go here and set a bigger size for the window, because the tabbed UI is a larger component. So we'll go ahead and set that to say 10 inches and then click OK. OK, and then save it. Then save the component, and now let's go ahead and run it. So you can see now that there's a second button here. So when I press this button, the window opens up, and there's my tabbed UI component. And so now when I start pressing these buttons, all of the components that open up inside the tabbed UI should be filtered on state equals Massachusetts. So let's go ahead now and start clicking buttons. So you can see now that basically there we have Massachusetts. Here this form is also filtered on Massachusetts. Here this next form is also filtered on Massachusetts. This here is filtered on Massachusetts, and then our report is also going to be filtered on Massachusetts. So we have a standard tabbed UI opening up in a window that is filtered on the value of Massachusetts from the current row. So now let's close this window down and open up the window for another row, say this one here, which is New York. So let's open it up. Let's make the window a little bit larger, and now you can see now that it's displaying data for New York. So we've linked our tabbed UI component based on the value of the state field in the current row, and so there you can see the report showing only states equals New York. So being able to bind arguments in a tabbed UI component to fields at runtime is a very powerful concept.